This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, Dunedin rally driver Emma Gilmore has landed one of the greatest drives of her career. The city's food banks are crying out for help after the effects of COVID increases demand in the south. And Finance Minister Grant Robinson says Queenstown can expect tourists from Auckland by Christmas. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Dunedin rally driver Emma Gilmore has scored a major prize. She's honoured to be the first woman signed to the McLaren motor racing stable at the highest level. McLaren announced the news early this morning, New Zealand time, that the Flying Kiwi will race in its Extreme E team for 2022.
Dunedin rally ace Emma Gilmore is riding high. She's just signed with top motorsport team McLaren Racing. The signing unveiled at a high-profile event during the COP26 summit in Glasgow, hosted by Prince Charles.
I still pinch myself and it still gives me goosebumps to think about it.
By joining the McLaren stable, she's following in the footsteps of famous Kiwis like Denny Hulme.
Oh, it's the pinnacle, absolutely. And, and I just feel so grateful that I've got this opportunity because, I've had many a disappointing season and I've had a lot of people that have stood beside me and supported me through these tougher times. So, so it really feels like a great reward for having that tenacity to stick at it because I love it.
Described as New Zealand's fastest woman in recent years, Gilmore's proud to be a role model.
I think it's a wonderful showcase for young girls and for all women. It's not just the young ones aspiring. It also shows all women what we're capable of. So, it's wonderful to be a role model for that.
She'll be the first female to drive for McLaren Racing, a team founded by Bruce McLaren.
It still doesn't feel real in some ways to be there as part of the McLaren story. Little girl from Dunedin. It feels pretty special.
The Dunedin rally driver is loving her new McLaren kit and feels like the belle of the ball.
Where you're getting handed a McLaren uniform and everything fitted. It was just like Cinderella was going to the ball. It was fantastic.
But not everything is going Gilmore's way. With a partner back home and a business to run in Dunedin, she's frustrated by the way the government is managing how people can return to Aotearoa.
I can't believe that as a country, I can travel all around the world, but I can't return home. And, I have a business. I pay taxes in New Zealand and, I'm one of the lucky ones in terms of I have somewhere to stay and I'm okay. But, I really feel for the people that desperately need to get home for dying relatives and so many sad stories. I think it's really cruel what's happening to New Zealanders.
She has one more race in the Extreme E for the Veloce team and is looking forward to testing and racing her new vehicle with the McLaren Racing team early next year. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The search for a missing Central Otago man, Wayne Hammond, is now on its fourth day. Both land and water-based searches in fine weather have been unsuccessful. Yesterday, members of the police dive team and Coast Guard were searching the Clutha River near the Clyde Bridge. Police are also asking the public to help them find Mr Hammond, and they say they have concerns for his well-being. They'd also like to speak to anyone who was on the Clyde to Alexandra walking track early on Sunday morning. Food banks in Dunedin are noticing the pinch, with their shelves running out of the essential items that fill local food parcels. They've now issued a call out to the public to consider donating so food banks can continue helping out families in need.
The cupboards are almost bare. Shelves at Dunedin Presbyterian Supports Food Bank are looking very empty due to increased demand. Julie Edmonds says the effect of COVID-19 lockdowns and job losses is now evident.
We found a huge, big increase in the need for food assistance, higher rent, power's gone up, and just everyday people are struggling just with the cost of food prices.
On one day last week, more than 30 people asked Presbyterian support for food parcels. That's triple the normal demand at this time of year.
Yeah, huge increase in one day. We were high demand for food parcels.
And it's not just Presbyterian support Otago struggling for supplies. At the city's 3 other main food banks, operated by the Salvation Army, St Vincent de Paul and the Mosgiel Community Food Bank, stocks are also seriously depleted.
We are actually in general running out of a lot of canned foods, soups, fruit, spaghetti, baked beans, just the staples that you put in a food parcel that people can make meals out of.
The public are encouraged to donate to local food banks either with useful cans and food items or by making a cash donation online. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Dunedin-based company Night and Day Food Stores is keen to take on the big supermarket chains if the government undertakes a major shake-up of the grocery sector. General Manager Matthew Lane appeared before the Commerce Commission this week as part of a probe into competition in the retail grocery sector. He says if a freer market was created, Night and Day could look to push further into the grocery market, which is dominated by 2 giants, Foodstuffs and Woolworths. Night and Day is currently New Zealand's 3rd largest groceries operator after Foodstuffs and Woolworths. Queenstown could be hosting Aucklanders before Christmas, according to Deputy Prime Minister Grant Robinson. He made the comments during a recent online seminar about the government's expectations for opening New Zealand's economy to a COVID world. Grant Robinson says Australians could be back here early next year, with the rest of the world following on their heels. He says the government is committed to the international border reopening in the first quarter of next year. A range of public-facing businesses are considering vaccine mandates for staff. Meanwhile, consumers will be encouraged to adopt a system of vaccine passes for use around large public gatherings and hospitality venues. Queenstown bar managers say the return of domestic and trans-Tasman tourism would be a godsend for the resort area, providing some level of certainty. Still to come on the South Today. Residents in the Christchurch suburb of Hunhei campaigned for safer roads in their district, and Balclutha school pupils embrace the spirit of Christmas early.
Risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hey guys, don't fork over your cash till you've seen my mate John's cracker deals. He's slashed 20 to 75% off everything store-wide.
And my mate John.
I think the best thing about it is we're all there to ride safely and deliver that message to, so when the kids are out there, hopefully showcase that riders and drivers can integrate together. So yeah, it's just being part of sharing that message really of riding safely when you're out on the road.
Welcome back. A sand mandala created in Wanaka has been destroyed by those who made it. Tibetan Buddhist monks from Christchurch and Dunedin started building the mandala using coloured beads of glass at the Catlins retreat 2 weeks ago. They say the mandala is one of many all over the world, created at the request of the Dalai Lama to help push back COVID-19. After it was destroyed in a sacred ritual, the sand was thrown into the nearby Pacific Ocean for the blessings to go around the world. The monks were visiting Wanaka at the invitation of locals, hoping to introduce Tibetan Buddhist culture to the area. Some residents of the Christchurch suburb of Hunhei are campaigning for roads to be made safer for pedestrians and motorists. Concerns about traffic safety in Hunhei has led to the members of the public compiling an inventory of problem sites. They want work done on them to improve traffic flow and pedestrian safety. The residents say traffic flows to many new housing subdivisions has increased substantially in recent years, and so have car crashes. The group are voicing their concerns to the Spraydon Cashmere Community Board. School pupils in Balclutha have got into the spirit of Christmas early. The school decided to use a mufti day to raise funds for presents for a number of needy families in developing nations.
Merry Christmas to developing nations in the Pacific and Southeast Asia. Balclutha school pupils have been putting together boxes filled with gifts and treats to be sent overseas in time for Christmas. They've been working with the New Zealand Samaritan Community Support Group to make their project a success.
We were lucky enough to have Barb Crawford come into school. She relieves here regularly, and she brought in the boxes which the children decided they would get involved with for this year.
We did a mufti day in term 3 and we raised about $180.
The children chose Christmas gifts as well as items that would be useful for people in developing countries.
They don't have all this hygiene stuff for them, so we got like bars of soap.
And organiser Barb Crawford is impressed with the generosity shown by the Balclutha community.
We have continued, despite lockdown, to have great support from the community, from businesses, from schools, from all sorts of organisations.
The Christmas boxes are being sent to Pacific countries, including the Philippines, Fiji and Malaysia. In Balclutha, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. A Canterbury rider takes out the second stage of the Tour of Southland cycle race, and we take a look at tomorrow's weather for you.
just plan your route a little bit, choose nice and quiet roads. In the winter, it's always nice to ride north and south. That way you get the driest route and less likely to hit black ice.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Hey guys, don't fork over your cash till you've seen my mate John's cracker deals. John has blown the roof off prices. For one final weekend, he slashed 20 to 75% off everything store-wide. Great range, fantastic service, and always a better deal. Now that really is a cracker. Only at John's Furniture Warehouse in Stafford Street and online at mymatejohn.co.nz.
Get that furniture from Stafford Street and my mate John.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Welcome back. Canterbury's Campbell Pithy has won a second stage on the Tour of Southland cycle race. The 22-year-old was first home after the 150-kilometre ride from Invercargill to the top of Bluff Hill.
The climbing legs of Josh Burnett weren't burnt out after his first-placed ride up the Remarkables on Wednesday. The young Invercargill rider's win, encouraging him to dig deep on his home roads, backing up his Queenstown win by finishing second in Thursday's climb up Bluff Hill.
Yeah, just the whole race is so special to people from Southland, and yeah, I just can't quite believe that I've actually done it.
There's plenty of colour on the tour, including some impressive flying mullets and colourful cycling kits like the one worn by the Creation Signs team. Their leopard skin kits continue their theme of animal prints over the years, aimed at dressing for speed. Burnett says the key is not worrying about your rivals.
I didn't spend too much time looking around behind me. I just knew it was quite hard, and you can have a wee bit of a look on the lower slopes, but once you get further up, you don't really worry about it. Just focus on what you're doing and try remember to drink and, yeah, just hold the wheel.
Defending champion Michael Vink continues to hold the Tour's yellow jersey with an overall lead of almost 2 minutes.
Based on my first day's effort, I think I sort of had no friends after that. Sort of going on a bit of a rampage through there, and often sort of when you have a big lead or you show your cards quite early, often it can sort of go against you, even everyone sort of tries to sort of work against you.
He says that just makes the race more exciting as the riders head to Gore for Friday's stage. In Invercargill, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Dunedin rally driver Emma Gilmore has landed one of the greatest drives of her career, signing with the McLaren team. The city's food banks are crying out for help after the effects of COVID increases demand in the South. And Finance Minister Grant Robinson says Queenstown can expect tourists from Auckland by Christmas. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us in tomorrow's paper?
Good evening. It's a big day for Dunedin tomorrow. The southern premiere of Jane Campion's new movie, The Power of the Dog, will be screening at the Regent Theatre tomorrow evening. Much of the movie, of course, filmed in and around Dunedin. The railway station plays a prominent role throughout it as well. But sorry to say, you won't be seeing Benedict Cumberbatch floating around the Octagon in the lead up to it. Plenty of locals will be appearing at the premiere though, and there were a lot of them, I think almost 200 who appeared as extras throughout the film, so a lot of those will be attending as well.
But no Bernadette?
No, sorry. Barbara Brinsley, she's a bit of a local identity. She's going to be fronting up and talk to us today about how exciting it was to be involved in the movie as well. So yeah, it's going to be a big day out, so we're looking forward to that. COVID continuing to play havoc, particularly for students at the moment. Targi Polytech confirming today that it's going to have to postpone its end-of-year graduation. Was due for December, they're now going to put it off till March. All the restrictions that they need to put in place to get it underway were just proving too much really, so Chief Exec Megan Gibbons said the safest option was to just postpone and hope for better things in March. So the University of Otago's got several planned in December as well. They're yet to make up their mind, but the way things are shaping, it could be bad news for university students as well. And even the schools, secondary schools, they've got a lot of their prize givings coming up in the next few weeks. A lot of them are choosing not to invite parents along and live streaming the event, just having the students along. So yeah, lots of changes and disruptions for the end of the year, just a continuation, I guess.
Of the year.
Yeah, it has been. Interesting story out of the Central Otago with concern about safety for kids on school buses up that way. Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolt has raised the issue with Waka Kotahi, just about the fact that there's too many kids on buses and a lot of them are having to stand in the aisles, and when you've got a bus travelling at 90k on an open road up there, it doesn't take much for kids to get injured. So he's concerned. He's previously addressed it with the authority and hasn't seen anything happen, so is really asking for some answers now. So not just there as well, I'm aware the same thing sort of happens around Dunedin and some of the rural areas around the city as well, so they seem to cram as many kids in as they can. Sports tab for tomorrow as well. We've got a look ahead to Otago's match, NPC match against Waikato tomorrow at Rotorua. They've already qualified for the playoffs, which start the following weekend, but they'll be hoping to keep in their winning ways ahead of that. And also, for the last very many years, we've done a sort of a monthly profile called the Fast Lane on young up-and-coming athletes. So we look back 10 years of the athletes of 2011 to see where they are and whether their sporting dreams have come to fruition. So it's a great read, well worth a look.
It'll be a really interesting read, and you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, there will be fine weather tomorrow and through the weekend, with temperatures slowly getting warmer. Starting at the northwest of the South Island, it's a mostly sunny day here for this region. Westport will have the occasional cloud with 18 degrees. Greymouth sees a high of 19 degrees. Over to the northeast, it's a mixed day here for both centres. Blenheim has showers with 15 degrees, while Nelson escapes the rain but can expect cloudy skies and 19 degrees. Moving to Canterbury, you will need your umbrellas in Kaikoura as there's showers and a high of 13 degrees. Christchurch and Ashburton escape the rain but can expect cloud cover with moderate winds. Christchurch reaches 13 degrees, Ashburton 17. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, the Catlins can expect light easterlies with clear skies and a high of 16 degrees. Further inland, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all in for light winds with clear skies and a high of 17 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes, Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra can all expect light northerlies with clear skies and highs of 19 to 20 degrees. Pretty much the same in Te Anau, but slightly cooler at 17 degrees. Looking at the northern towns along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect light easterlies with clear skies and highs of 16 or 17. Moving inland, with Twizel and Amarama, both expect light northerlies with clear skies and a high of 20. And in Dunedin, fine tonight with light northeasterlies and an overnight low of 7 degrees. It will be mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with light variable winds, a high of 16 and a low of 7. And Saturday should be fine also with fresh breezy northeasterlies. There's some cloud at time but sunny periods too, a high of 16 and a low of 8. And Invercargill can expect fine weather tonight with an overnight low of 2 degrees. It should be fine tomorrow and Saturday with mostly sunny skies, scattered high cloud and light winds, mild afternoon temperatures tending to cool down later at night. Tomorrow we'll see a high of 17 and a low of 3, and similar on Saturday with a high of 17 and a low of 5 degrees. And that's the news for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. Remember, you can follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube, like and subscribe to be notified of southern news as it happens. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.